All right, folks, welcome back to Tales from the Cosmic Well, an original D&D story created in real time by a bunch of weird musicians. My name is James. I'll be your dungeon master, and with me are Zach Wheeler.
Vivian French. I'm a druid. I'm a dwarf, but you wouldn't know that. I shave a lot. Also a business owner. If you've heard of French's Fauna, you probably haven't. It's a secret.
Tom Polzine.
I play the character of Clyde Wonderspice. I'm a lovable gnome, collector of spices and herbs, a tradesman, ranger, and lover.
And of course, Mike T. Kerr.
Mike T. Kerr. The T stands for Tassles this evening. I'm playing a half-orc named Tassles. He's a half-orc wizard who discovered his truly unbelievable talent under some very dangerous circumstances and has been kind of poking around looking for his life
Porpoise.
goals.
There's all kinds of magic, danger, and political intrigue in store, so let's get into it. During the last session, Vivian, Clyde, and Tassels left the aftermath of their brawl outside of McGillery's lodge to eat a hot meal, each of them coming to terms with the violence they had endured. However, as they left the lodge with Vivian's menagerie of illegal pets in tow, they noticed that someone had cleaned up the fight and there was no sign of the struggle. Vivian brought his assortment of creatures to the Temple of All, where Tassels had arranged for the monks tending the temple to take them in. After a good night's rest, the group met with the caravan at the Archduke's manor. Next came a bit of dickering over when their reward would be paid, Clyde challenging Ayla, captain of the guard, to show evidence that their gold was indeed on board.
I forgot about
When satisfied, the three agreed to scout ahead on the road for the caravan, ensuring that the guards would be able to protect the caravan at all times. While scouting, the lads proceeded carefully into the Everwood, a large, beautiful forest along their route. Just inside, they found a trap that was laid for travelers and were able to instead ambush the 5 goblins that had been laying in wait. With a combination of magic and archery, the goblins were quickly dispatched and the road made safe once more for travel. I also think it's worth mentioning that Tassels attempted to burn down the lodge at one point.
I'm
Like
still
a
not entirely cool
half-orc
with that.
possessed. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty glad that you were able to stop him, Clyde. I think you were the one who stepped in, yeah, with your
Big time.
reflexes.
Big time.
He's a quick little stinker.
All right, boys. After making camp for the rest of the night outside of your battlegrounds, 3 of you awaken with the rest of your journey about 2 days' travel ahead of you. It seems like you'll be spending the better part of this day of travel inside the Everwood. The lush flora is a green wonderland. What caution in combat and eventually the night had covered has become a lot clearer. In the spring morning, you see birds flitting from branch to branch and see chipmunks and squirrels moving the ferns along the forest floor. You see growths of all kinds on either side of the road. What do you do?
Wow.
I'd like to cook the boys a lovely breakfast.
What are we cooking? Just stuff from your rations, or are you gonna look for stuff
A
around?
little bit of ration. I'd like to maybe just give a quick forage, see what I can find.
Yeah, give me a nature check first.
Yeah.
I James, when you're done with this, I would like to do the same, but I have a twist on mine.
Okay.
Come back to me.
Mine is 12 for nature.
With a lime.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a survival check to forage for some food.
Oh, what's 25 sound like?
It sounds like you're gonna find some sweet mushrooms, and you're gonna find some abandoned eggs.
This is an above ground dwarf, if you know what I'm saying.
So you find some stuff that's pretty obviously edible, and you're able to cook up a nice meal.
Awesome.
While that's happening, you're kind of doing your search. Clyde, what are you up to?
Okay, I will also be foraging, but specifically for, I think, some wild spices and or herbs that I can contribute to the meal. Purely just flavoring agents. That's what I'm looking for. And at the same time, I would like to take out Sherman, my sugar glider. And what I'm hoping to do is to start training him to help me find these spices and herbs by letting him smell and come with me while I root around to kind of learn my trade.
Yeah, so Sherman is on your shoulder, getting a nice whiff of the forest air. Go ahead and give me a nature check followed by a survival check.
Okay. Nature check is going to be a 19 total,
Okay.
Oh,
and followed by a survival check. Survival's looking bad, rather bad here. It is going to be a 7 total.
So with your nature check, you're able to identify one kind of patch of sassafras. It is the only herb that you can kind of find in your time. You don't feel like you have a lot of time to track down different things, but you do find like a patch of wild sassafras that you feel might be a little tangy.
That's
Might have a little
perfect
tangy.
though. I think I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna taste a little. I'm gonna let Sherman taste a little bit. And using my ability as a gnome to speak with small animals,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask him to do his best to remember the flavor and the smell, and I'll be quizzing him on this later. We're gonna play find the spice around the campsite tonight.
you've got flashcards, right?
I'm gonna be hiding various spices, and I'm gonna say, "Find me the sassafras, Sherman."
He quickly and dexterously ties a little bracelet of the sassafras around his left wrist and just like nibbles and sniffs at it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, big time.
So you guys put together this incredible breakfast. A little bit of
Oh my
sassafras in your eggs with some mushrooms. You guys eat like kings. Everybody will get a +1 to all their attack rolls for the day for such a beautiful breakfast.
Heck
Oh,
yes,
that's
sir.
what
This
I'm
is not damage. This is to hit.
Just for
This
your
is the
attack rolls. Yep.
That's big time.
We're playing Breath of the Wild rules here.
So the open road faces you guys. What's your plan?
I'd say we clean up camp. A good druid leaves no trace, so I'm gonna clean up this camp.
Lovely.
Clean up the camp, and we are back at full health here after a night's rest. Is that
That's
correct?
right. All
Oh,
spell slots replenished as well.
Sick,
Spell slots,
baby. There we go.
Well, what do you
Oh.
say? Is
I get to rearrange my spells, don't I?
If
You
you'd
can,
like, yeah.
if you'd like, yeah. Did
my
you?
game plan essentially to just continue to forge forward, just along the path here? Like, I don't think there's anything crazy we're trying to accomplish.
Well, we just kind of took care of one, crew, right, already. So, do we need to keep a lookout for more? Obviously, there could be more of a danger if we noticed their sigils, right? Didn't somebody
Yes.
recognize them?
So I recognized apparently these were the sigils or the symbol of the Reavers that destroyed my gnome village. That took place a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was just like a toddler when this happened. So, I mean, I guess I remember, but it's crazy that this gang is still in effect.
Yeah.
Well, it's still terrorizing these lands.
I think the idea is we can root out like wherever their headquarters is, but first we need to get this caravan to the new town, in my mind, at least. Get a good base camp and then, hit the woods a little bit more.
Let's carry on forward then. What do you say?
I'd say so.
Towards the place we're going.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you guys continue your travels. You make it a good part of the day in peace. But as the sun begins to set, you come upon an ox-drawn carriage on the side of the road. You see it. It's about 300 yards ahead of you.
Okay.
How's that ox?
It looks fine. It looks like he's kind of kicking the dirt.
Who's in? Is there any humanoid driving this vehicle?
You see no signs of any movement outside of the ox.
Could I roll a perception to see if there are any small animals around?
Yeah, sure. Give me a
I'm gonna
perception
roll
check.
an investigation on that. I've been reading a book as we've been walking and just sort of head down, but I finally kind of look up and haven't really spoken to the boys all morning, but finally look up and investigate the cart before us.
Great. Okay. Why don't you roll me an investigation check?
That
now
was
that
a
your
natural
head's out of
20
the-
for
out of the oak.
Zach
That's a
there.
natural
Yeah.
20 looking for small animals. I'm on it. Here we go.
So Zach, you find a small animal. It's a
Okay.
rabbit.
I would
He's about 20 yards ahead of you.
Okay, I would like to cast a first level spell,
Mhm.
Speak with Animals.
Sure. Okay. And what do you say to him?
Hey, little fella, how you doing? Do you want a snack?
Whoa! Why are you talking to me?
Dude, it's cool.
Whoa! Who are you, man?
Listen, I'm Vivian French. I got a snack if you want it, and I have a little pouch where I keep treats for all the animals. If you're like, listen,
Okay.
I just need some information real quick, if it's cool with you, little dude.
Look, I know this is going to sound insanely cliche, but I would really like a carrot. Do you happen to have a carrot in your pouch?
You know, do I have a carrot in my pouch?
Seems unlikely.
It seems unlikely. It doesn't make any sense to really carry around
Yeah.
fresh produce.
No, these are like dog treats.
Do I look like a dog to you?
You look like we could be dogs if we hang out a little bit here. Uh,
I liked that turn of phrase.
yeah,
Very, very clever.
I'm pretty hip. I'm with it. Listen. I just have limited time here. 10 minutes, if you were to say.
I'll take that.
Exact time.
I'll take that. Give me that treat.
Here's the treat, bud. What's going on with that card up there? Have you checked it out? Anyone?
He's like nibbling on it. Yeah. I don't know. It's been here for like an hour or two.
Yeah. Were
Oh,
there any people or humanoids around it?
Oh yeah, there were two. There was like one of you. You know how you're like this, and then there's one with the longer hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like you.
Oh, okay.
So two of yous, but
Where'd they go?
they just like walked off into the woods, man.
Oh, just wandered off, huh?
That's right. Yeah.
That's interesting. Which direction?
Easterly,
Easterly.
and he just kind of waves a paw to the right, like.
I'd like to say in speaking with all small animals because I can speak as well.
Yeah.
Classic rabbit talking about Easter all the time. Am I right?
Jeez, this is nuts. Why, there's two people talking to me at the same. I've never talked to one of you fucking tall folk in my whole life.
Listen, I just
You
had
coming
to
in
throw in, had to toss a quick jab around with my friends. You know, that's how I like to mix it up.
I
Be about your
appreciate-
business. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. Okay.
Listen, bud,
That's-
we have a lot of
that's
fun
fine.
around here, you know, and I'm glad you took some time to chat with us. My name's Vivian. This is Clyde, and big boy over there is Tassles. He's not understanding a word of what we're saying right now, but you know, you can trust me and Clyde right here.
While this conversation is happening, Tassels has gone ahead to look at the cart. You know, what's your total there, Tassels, with a 2?
The total, I'm pretty sure, is a 3.
Yeah, I mean, you see an empty.
Oh no! It's a
carriage.
5. It's a 5.
Oh yeah. You see an empty carriage and an ox that looks like incredibly bored, but is
Cool.
just standing there. You don't really see any signs of a struggle, but you also don't really see any footprints or anything like that. You just kind of left with very little evidence of what happened.
Well, I lean on the ox and continue to read my book.
He seems disgruntled but doesn't move.
I would like to look for tracks when there's a moment to do that.
While the rest of this conversation happens, go ahead and roll me a survival check there, Clyde.
Cool.
But the rabbit says, can I have one more of those for the road?
Hey, for you, do you have a wife? You have kids?
Nah, man.
No. Hey, good for you. True independent. Tell you what, take 2 of these things.
He like grabs them and just kind of says, yeah, you know what? You're all right, man.
Hey,
And then he runs away.
remember me. Tell your friends.
I've got a big 21 on
Ooh.
my nature roll there.
Yeah, you see
Or
that
survival. Sorry.
the rabbit was pretty spot on. It doesn't look like there was a sign of struggle, and you see footprints that lead from around the front of the carriage into the forest towards the east, kind of just out into the woods. But you're
Could
able to track him if you
Could
if
I
you want.
tell based on the footprint? Is this when he was referring to a person like Vivian,
Mhm.
was he talking about just a man and a woman, or specifically could I tell, is this like a dwarf or a human based on the size of the footprint?
You can't really tell. I mean, they look like human-sized footprints,
Well,
but
not that good. I just need to find out how good I am
Yeah.
first.
I don't
you know,
think many people are that good. Boots are kind of made all the same for the
made
most
for
part.
walking is what I learned.
You are able to track if you would like. You could probably follow the trail given what you've seen.
What do you fellers suppose they were moseying towards?
What's that?
Why do you think they headed off this way?
Well, because this forest is boring. You know?
So you would just leave your ox in a cart, just kind of like sitting there,
You're right.
unattended.
I give the ox a big pat and say, "This guy looks a little expensive."
Can I still speak with animals as if like I could speak to the ox too? If
Yeah,
we're-
I mean, you have 10 minutes, right?
yeah. I just didn't know if it was like directed at one animal or if I had like a
Let me just double check
Yeah.
real quick.
Hey, Clyde.
Yes, sir.
Can't
Any
you,
and all beasts.
okay.
Can't you
Sorry.
talk to animals?
Oh yeah, I can talk to the little ones, the little critters.
Why don't you ask this ox what's going on?
Well, that ox is not a little critter. You know, I don't know why. I don't understand the science of it. But it's specifically a diminutive creature with which I'm able to converse.
Something smaller than you.
Well, certainly not something like this fella right here, this big hoss. Can't talk to him. And
I
quite
think you've
frankly, I
got.
wouldn't. He seems to have a mission.
I think you've got issues, man.
So you wanted to talk to the ox?
I'm gonna just give it a little pat. Hey, big boy, what's your name?
Hello.
Hey,
My name is Carlton.
Carlton. That's a lovely name.
I appreciate that.
I'm Vivian. How are you? How are you doing this evening?
Man, I am thirsty.
You
I've
thirsty?
been here for hours. Hours.
Tell you what. Let
I'm
me
so
get you.
thirsty.
Let me get you a little water here. I'll canteen out and I'll hold my hands, cup
He
them.
gratefully his huge tongue just like just gets all over your hands. It's like saliva gets all over you, but he is very grateful. He says, "Oh gee, thank you, sir. I
Hey.
appreciate that."
Anytime, my friend. What are you hauling back there? What kind of rig you got?
Oh, I don't know. They just strapped something to me and they told me to walk, and I did.
Who left you here?
Well, that'd be my good friend. His name is Giorgio.
Giorgio.
That's right.
Giorgio's your good friend, and he left you here without water.
Yeah, him and his wife just walked out into the old forest yonder. Heard some kind of singing,
Oh,
perhaps.
singing.
It sounded pretty bad to me, but who am I?
Hey, I'm a bit of a musician myself, but I won't sing for you here.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm not a big fan of music. It's real loud to my ears.
Are your masters? Are they peaceful people, or are they like warriors?
Oh, sure, they're real nice. You know what they do?
What do they do?
They usually feed me.
Oh well. Tell you what, bud. We're gonna go check on this situation. We're gonna go find your people. And if we don't find them, how would you like to come with me?
I mean, that sounds pretty good, but I'll tell you, I'm rather attached to Giorgio.
Well,
He's rather attached to a cart.
listen, Carlton. Listen, do you have any food? They leave some food. You got a feed bag? Let me hook you up here. I'd like to rustle through the cart and see if there's any supplies for.
Yeah,
for
you
him.
you find his feed bag. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hook him up. Be like, you stay put. It's all good. We're gonna go check on Giorgio and his lovely bride.
I, Carlton the Ox, will be forever grateful for what you've done for me here today.
I like Carlton.
Yeah.
He knows what he's about.
I'll fill in the boys here on the situation. Carlton here. He's his masters Giorgio and a wife just wandered off. They said they heard some singing and
So now
they've been
we're gonna
gone for
go.
hours.
So now we're gonna go traipsing through the woods here after some elopers.
I made a promise, man.
You promised this ox?
Yeah.
Look in his eyes.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
did.
dead eyes.
They are dead. They're deeply.
They're like a doll's eyes.
Listen, he's a good ox, Carlton.
This dumb as a post ox tricked you into feeding him.
Ease up, dude. You know, aren't you all about the common folk and the proletariat? These sound like good people.
I just think this ox manipulated you just now.
Well, let me spin it to you this way. I'm just naturally curious as a cat, and so when I hear about some sort of concert happening deep in the forest,
Yeah,
my interest is piqued.
I have to admit to you guys, the singing is what concerns me the most.
why do you say that?
I hate
Are you
voices.
This might be a chance for you to grow, my man. This might be a golden opportunity shining down on you.
I thought we were on a scouting mission, and now we're on a fucking retreat.
Well, let's go. We can go scout out the concert. We're like an A&R rep, you know. It's like a label, and let's go see what sort of shows happening.
Listen, if it's a friendly clan, a troop of bards, then we found
Well-
some allies, and if it isn't, then we've cleared up another danger for the caravan, right?
Listen, when we get kidnapped by some weird singing sex cult, I will be riding my Tensor's floating disc out of here on my own.
Okay, that's
Can it-
fair.
Can it carry that much weight?
Oh, you guys now. Let's be
Excuse
civil,
me.
okay? Guys, let's just head in there. Let's just like do this thing because it's wild and adventurous and spontaneous. you know?
Yeah, listen to Clyde.
Even a little bit spicy.
You could say that if you had to. And you might. Let's go,
All right,
fellers.
all right.
So, Clyde, you're able to follow these footprints into the woods. They take you about a mile off the beaten path. But you start to hear this kind of beautiful singing in a language you don't recognize pretty far off.
Mm.
You round a corner, you come to kind of a traipse of trees with like a path that leads around them. I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys to that slide here. Hopefully you'll see.
Yeah, let me adjust here.
Can I
for
roll
the
an
good people.
Arcana and see if I recognize that language or something?
Let's go ahead and have you roll a history check. I think
Okay.
that's the way to do it.
It was 11.
I don't think anything kind of pops into
Okay.
your brain. When you hear it, it doesn't ring any real bells with you.
And you wouldn't say that it would be Dwarven, Druidic, or Common by any means.
It wouldn't be a language that you would know. I mean, you might know it, Zach. I'm going to go ahead and just whisper it to you here.
Okay.
What, because he's a dwarf?
Because he's a druid.
Oh, the good people can see the whisper too. Don't ruin this. for
Oh
Tom.
no!
I won't look. I'm not looking.
Don't look.
currently.
My
That's
Uh,
a nice pro tip, though. I get to
no,
keep Zach's screen
That's
off.
for me. That's I think level 2 or 3 when I automatically get that.
radical.
I don't have
so
it
you,
yet.
No one understands it sounds like Enya though. It's beautiful. You know, it's kind of far away.
What's that
version
Sting
of this
Sting
melody.
song? Desert Rose or something like that.
Desert Rose. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. I wish I could share my audio with you.
Yeah.
I would put it on immediately. But yeah, so you guys hear this beautiful voice coming from far away, and you reach kind of the end of this ridge. What do?
I think Clyde would like to scamper up a tree, see if there's a higher vantage point.
I'd like to give him a boost.
I would like to accept the boost
I
graciously.
would like to go stand under a different tree.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to go ahead and roll an athletics or acrobatics check there, Clyde, and you're going to roll to support him, Vivian. So go ahead and
Okay.
roll. A 10 or above on die will help. Yeah. So you can go ahead and you can roll with advantage there.
Yes, sir.
How's an 18 suit ya?
An 18 suits me just fine. I don't even think you need to roll the other die. You have advantage, but I don't think even a natural 20 would particularly.
Do
It
it.
wouldn't make you climb better.
I
But it
like to
would-
get up that.
It'd do it
tree.
in style.
Would you like to do so stealthily, or are you just gonna run up the tree and kind of?
I don't know that the thought would occur
Okay.
to Clyde. I think he's just getting up the tree. He hasn't seen anyone. I think he thinks he's far enough away where he's just gonna get up that tree.
Okay. You scramble up the tree, and it kind of clears up a little bit. Let me show you what you see, and I will kind of explain it to you as well.
Would you say that perhaps I am in this tree on the map?
Which one are we hitting?
I don't know. One of these.
This one right
I
here?
wasn't really particular. Maybe just like the one near to me, if it was tall enough.
So you see a little bit more of the forest ahead of you, and you see a small clearing. There's a little fire that's like in a brazier, so it's like in a metal enclosure. And you see there's a man. You see the top of his head; he's slightly balding, and you see a beautiful woman who's singing in the corner. She's wearing this green dress.
And that's right up here on the map. That's like right.
That's
up
right.
top in the corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see she's pretty far, and you don't think anybody has seen you. She's still singing.
I would like to. Is there any way I would either know what's going on here or be able to? In 3.5, I would do sense motive.
You can roll an insight check.
An insight check. That's what I'm looking for.
All right.
What am I looking at? Is what I'm trying to find out.
Whoa.
Insight is intelligence. Is that right?
It's wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, cool. That's going to be a 20.
So you see, on the side, there's a woman sleeping in the shadow of the ridge. If you had to guess, based on what you can kind of put together, why don't you hazard a guess based on the fact that there's a woman sleeping?
I would think that they were enchanted. They were drawn out to the woods, and they are like under the spell of some sort of forest enchantress. I don't know what she's trying to do to them, but I think that they were lured out here against their will.
That is what you feel is happening. Like,
Okay.
given your knowledge of the situation, these people just pulled over on the side of the road, and they just walked off and left all their stuff, and they just walked off into the forest like a mile. So you have a feeling that there is some kind of magic involved. You're not entirely sure.
So let me throw this at you then. My next move is to try to stealthily get down and relay the information to my compatriots.
All right, roll me a stealth check here.
That's going to be a 10 total. But I am attempting to be stealthy. That's got to count for something.
Those are brownie points, my friend.
It's like I'm not just being like, meh.
All right.
She's singing a song. I'm singing a song.
Climbing down the tree.
Here I am climbing again.
You rustle a few branches on the way down, and the singing stops for a moment, and you hear it stop.
Dang.
But after a moment of kind of standing silently, the singing resumes.
Oh, this is tense.
Okay, fellers. I saw something peculiar out in the forest.
Yeah.
I can
And then
smell the magic.
Yeah, I relay what I saw for the boys here.
Can I roll an Arcana based on the information that he just relayed to me? +5
Makes it 17.
is 17.
Very nice. Yeah, you think that there might be some kind of charm effect in play here.
Okay, sick.
Can
Can I start creeping up here?
Well, what should we do, fellas? Are we going to try to attack this enchantress to free these poor folks from her spell?
Do we have to attack
I want to
her?
find out what's going on. I don't know about attacking anyone.
Yeah. Well, why don't we send somebody forward, and the other two could kind of sneak around and try to provide support.
Yeah.
She might
I-
let her guard down.
I think my
No.
magic will protect me long enough to get you guys set up. So maybe I should go talk to her.
So you're the charisma guy in this situation.
Well.
Tassels.
I'm a people person.
I'm not
That's
meaning
right.
to imply anything by the statement. I'm simply here to state it. That's all. I think that you'd be a wonderful liaison between us and the Forest Enchantress.
So I'd like to approach slowly but not stealthily and sort of casually make my
Presence.
presence known.
And I'd like to sneak around, if possible. Like wait a second and then sneak around as he's making more noise. Kind of use that as cover.
I think same, and I think I don't want to be right next to Viv, but I think if we're both kind of like sneaking and splitting off
We
slightly.
should pincer.
So if you went there, I don't know if I can get up around, but maybe if I'm like, James, there's darkness in this map, but can I go up to like,
Move your character as close to that darkness as you'd like.
but I can't go into the darkness?
I will reveal it for you as you get closer.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm going over here basically, but a little more south.
You're going through there. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you guys are using Tassels like movements and his very clearly trying to make his presence known as a way to hide your movement, you're going to roll with advantage on your stealth checks.
Nice.
So go ahead and roll with advantage. And Tassels, what are you doing to kind of draw attention to yourself walking down the lane here?
I'm sort of kicking my feet, but I'd also like to roll a perception as I'm sort of moving. Just to see if I perceive any kind of other tricks or traps or magic as I'm walking, but I'm very much reading my book, moving forward, kicking my feet a little bit, like not really picking my feet up or anything like that,
All right, give me a perception check. And while you do that, Zach, what did we get here for the stealth roll?
9.
Mine's going to be, I think technically it would have been 22, but I am wearing scale armor, and I think that gives me -2 to stealth. Is that true, James?
Scale mail?
Yeah, I should know this, but I think that's true.
Scale mail.
Either way, it's
It has
either
you roll
20
stealth with disadvantage, so you'll just take the lower roll.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, really? That's how it does it? I'm disadvantaged always on that?
So basically you would have just rolled straight up.
Okay.
So that first roll 12 is going to be
That's
your
going to be
roll.
a 16 then.
Great. Okay.
All right.
So 16 and a 9.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's what happens.
Hello.
So as Tassels moves forward, and what'd you roll? You rolled an 18 plus
+2, so a dirty 20.
dirty 20. You don't see any traps. You do see that this guy in front of you looks extremely rigid, and he's kind of just tossing some stuff on the fire, and just kind of looks like he's just rigidly going through the motions. He's not even walking very naturally. And she's just kind of singing. She has a little lyre that she's playing on. She's strumming. And yeah, so you just round this corner and you don't see any traps, but this is this thing you see in front of you. And she stops singing and she says, "That will be far enough. Thank you. And you can tell your friend to come on out."
I don't have any friends.
Well, do you have someone who's walking around with you out in the forest? I heard him in there just now.
It's just me and my copy of Crime and Punishment here.
Could I roll to see if I would know that I was the one making the sound since I wasn't being as stealthy?
You can give me an insight check here.
Yeah, I guess insight. Because I don't want to just claim.
I don't think she knows I'm here.
18.
You know it's you. You kind of stepped on a couple of branches and you weren't as stealthy as you could be.
I'll come out right here and be like, "Yeah, hey, sorry, just looking. I was foraging."
Well, I like that one of you was honest. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Now, gentlemen, I cannot believe my good fortune. Here I am with one new manservant, and I have two more literally coming out of the woods. It's so good to see you. What are your
I
names?
don't know anything about serving you, witch.
I forgive you for this terribly rude remark. I do. Would you grace me with your name?
my name?
I both of you, please.
Quentin.
I close the
Quentin.
book.
My name's
Roll me a
Quentin.
bluff check there.
Quentin Fieldrich.
Give me a bluff check.
Prentice.
Crentist. A bluff. Where is it?
I believe it's persuasion.
Persuasion.
Persuage. Uh-oh. 9.
It's fantastic to meet you, Quentin. Please come have a seat at the fire, both of you. There's plenty of room for everyone.
Quentin,
Come.
don't go anywhere near that fire.
I don't want to go near the fire. I just want to see who was singing the song here. I was looking for mushrooms. Who?
What are you doing to these poor newlyweds out here?
As you can see, we're just spending some time out here in the wilderness.
Yeah.
I have this man who's taking care of my daily affairs, my chores. So kind of him to volunteer to do so. And you hear
Yeah.
him just go, uh-huh,
Hey, buddy,
uh-huh.
are you here by your own will?
Uh-huh.
Hey, bud.
Uh-huh.
Does the name Carlton mean anything to you?
Oh, that's my ox. He's a good boy.
We had a sit down, and he was out there. He was so thirsty, and I gotta ask you, where do you get off?
Oh, he's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna leave him. I'll go grab him later today.
It's
What do-
it's been
what-
so long. He was so thirsty.
Oh, it can't have been more than a few minutes. I feel like we just got here.
It's been hours, and you leave that poor thing. There are thieves out here.
You see, he starts to get a little confused. He's turned towards you guys, and his like kind of face that had no emotion on it when he was starting by saying like uh-huh over and over again. It slowly kind of like looks more and more confused, like maybe he doesn't know where he is or who he is.
What is
even.
your name?
uh
Remember your name. Your
Carlton.
name has the true power.
the woman speaks. She says, "Oh, that's Giorgio. He's my new friend.
Where
Don't
are
you mind him? He's a little
Where
confused."
are you from, Giorgio?
Gentlemen, I insist you come have a seat.
I'd like to take a shot at her.
You're just gonna take a shot?
I think I've seen enough.
All right, you are in stealth. Go ahead and roll to hit there.
Oh.
Okay. That's going to be a 20.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Cool. It's going to be a D8 plus 4. That's going to be 8 damage total.
You see, as you fire your bow, the arrow hits her, and on point of contact, she goes from a normal-looking human woman, and all of a sudden, her skin turns green, and her hair turns a deeper shade of maybe forest green. And you see that she completely changes in front of you, and this kind of calm, nice-looking woman turns into this, this strange-looking, wrathful, forest creature.
Oh, I hate those.
And she shrieks and she says, "I will eat you." And everybody go ahead and roll.
Nice.
Oh boy.
9 crew, what's up?
Yeah, boy. Oh, 19.
Look at the
okay.
big boy, big boy.
What's up?
What's up?
It's going to be a 23 for me.
Why
and
is
then
my
the-
initiative only 1? I don't know.
What's your dexterity
Dexterity,
modifier?
right?
My dexterity is 1.
Okay, mine will be.
Really what?
That's going to be 11 for me.
Yoki. So we're gonna have Hachi machi.
Dude, yes. J-Man, I need to get those spice arrows ready. My cayenne dipped arrowheads.
You are going to be going first here, Clyde.
Is that
so-
a dry rub or a wet sauce?
This is we do it Memphis dry rub. Where I come from.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I shoot the first arrow and like immediately just go for the second arrow. And I'm going to just fire another shot at her.
My initiative is 10, by the way.
Gotcha. Thank
Am
you.
I good to roll that or am I going to wait for a second here?
You're good to go. So the scene is set here. She has morphed from this normal looking human woman. The facade has dropped. You know, you've hit her with the arrow. It's just sticking out of her arm. And she bleeds like this black blood out of her arm. And she
Man,
just
see,
looks
I just don't
furious.
understand this. This confusion is making me even more angry. That's going to be 15.
That hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Nice. Man, I'm getting it done right now.
You're a real stinker out
Give
there.
me another 8 damage.
Oh,
This one catches her in the chest, and she looks incredibly hurt. She looks confused, like all of a sudden, you know, she doesn't even know where you are. She hasn't even spotted you yet. And she says, "What trickery is this? You come into my forest." And it's her turn. So what she's going to do is now she sees you because you've hit her twice. And she looks towards you, Clyde, and you're going to go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
About
yeah.
to get in that brain.
Chillman brings up, let's not forget our +1s from breakfast.
Oh, that's
For
a
your attack-
valid
for your
point.
attacks.
Yeah, for our attacks.
Love that.
Okay, so a battle of wills. Oh, big time. That's going to be an 18.
Dude, small
So
man, big rolls tonight.
Big rolls tonight.
She shoots out this sharp note out of her weird vocal cords. And it just like, you can see the note traveling on the air. And it kind of hits you, but you are able to shake it off. You don't feel affected at all. But for a second, you thought she looked like a friend,
Mm.
an old
Whoa.
friend.
Wow.
She then, you watch as her skin takes on the hue of a tree, and it looks like bark. And she doesn't even take a movement, so she stays where she is. But she's got, she seems to have bolstered her defenses somehow. And then, what's your AC there, Clyde?
16.
Out of the woods, out of the trees on the ridge, come these two small sprites.
Oh,
And one of them shoots
More
an
of a
arrow at you there,
Sierra
Clyde.
Mist guy myself. but-
And he's gonna hit you. Let's see how much he hits you for.
oh, dang.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, my luck had to run out at some point. Here's where it is. It's gonna be a 5.
You immediately fall unconscious and fall asleep. You take 1 damage,
Oh,
but you are poisoned and you are unconscious.
Well, that's no good, fellers.
That brings us to the second sprite, who now is going to take a shot at you, Vivian, since you're closest.
Yep.
He completely misses you.
All right.
And that brings us to your turn, Viv.
All right. I'd like to. Okay, so I got to keep in mind I can only move 25 feet. So if I go 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 25, right there.
Mhm. Yep.
I would like to try to poison spray her. Be like, you're the ugliest singer I've ever seen, and you're mean to that dude's ox.
Carlton.
And
Can you
I'm not
use-
going to stand for it.
I like to imagine Britney Spears' "Toxic" is playing
Yeah.
in the background.
Just
I hear it now.
Vivian's dry speech, just monotone talking over top of Toxic.
Yeah.
So she has
Does
to
you
roll
know
a
that
you're
saving throw.
Yeah, it's a con save.
What does she need to get?
Well, my spell save is 14. Is that bolstered by the breakfast or no?
No, but she saves anyway. You see, you cast your poison spray, and she laughs. She says, "This is petty magic at best. You complete new baby boy magic man."
Your skin is bark, and you look so ugly right now.
Oh God, is shaming like this?
Tassels, you're up.
I'm going to, my friends, if you please them, get up in here. I've closed my book, and I'm just skipping 5. It's 10. It's 15. It's 20. It's 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cast. I'm now within 10 feet of her,
That's right.
and I'm going to cast Grease. It's a 10-foot square. So this right here, 5. This one, and
greasy
and this
wood
one.
witch.
You know what I'm saying? So this whole, do you see those 4 squares there? Right?
Go. Hold on. Let's see. Can you write on the map? Can you
What?
do it or?
Yeah, he can.
Oh.
Yeah, you should get a paintbrush or something.
Can we manipulate the map with a paintbrush?
You see that?
A paintbrush?
Wow.
Listen, I play the mind games. Mike plays the grease games.
It's hard to read what's going on in this map right now, but I understand.
Okay.
I don't think we needed the scribble, but okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Hey,
it's production value.
can you tell me something? Is
Yes.
the grease flammable?
It's not. I've read about this.
Yeah.
There is a specific spell in 5e called Incendiary Flame or Incendiary Slime. And don't you worry, it's coming down the pipe.
Okay, good.
So
My pipes are clogged.
With grease.
Okay. So when
Cholesterol
she,
So you have to do a dex save if you've entered that space, or else you fall prone.
what does she need to get?
She needs to get I don't know how this works, but my spell save DC, is that what you need?
Yeah.
It's a 13.
She succeeds.
Fuck.
And she says, "You babies, casting your dumb little spells. I'll show you how it's done. Don't you worry." At this point, the farmer, Giorgio, he shouts, "Don't hurt my mistress!" And he runs towards you, Vivian.
No.
And he's going to try and tackle
Can
you.
I react at all? Because looks to me like he's going to kind of have to cross my...
He's staying in your threat range, so he won't be crossing through. Go ahead and roll an acrobatics or an athletics check, an opposed grapple here. He's just going to try and grab you.
Dang. Oh, 17.
You throw him
Into the
behind
grease.
you. Right, yeah. You know what? Yeah, sure. He's going to make a saving throw here.
Yes.
He fails.
Yes.
He falls prone. Right over here, and he is prone.
That's a slippery Giorgio.
Clyde, you are still asleep. You do not, unfortunately, get a saving throw.
It's just nothing. I'm just sawing logs.
Hold on, let me
out in
see.
the
I just want to
forest.
see if there's something we can do about it.
I'm sorry, I missed the part where you fell asleep.
I'm not entirely clear how that happened exactly.
Oh, I think it was the sprite.
It's the poison from the sprite's arrow.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
told you I'm a Sierra Mist guy. I never trust a Sprite for this exact reason.
Would you even drink it, if it came at you? That's the question we have to ask ourselves.
Like if there's nothing else around.
Well, that's what just happened right now. They just force Sprite upon you.
Yeah.
You are going to stay asleep until you take damage, or another creature takes an action to shake you awake.
Okay, So, like,
Oh.
how does my sugar glider come into play in this situation?
Oh, baby. Sherman is going to help out. Sherman grabs the sassafras from around his wrist and he puts it under your nose.
Yeah.
You smell the
Yes.
sweet
Yes.
sassafras underneath your nostrils and you
Yes.
wake up. You won't get an action this turn, but you are awake and you are alert and you are ready to move for the next turn. The Dryad's going to take her turn here. She takes out a club and she's going to move around her thrall here and through the goop, and she's going to attack you there, Tassels. She's going to go ahead and take it.
Now, does she have to roll that save anytime she's moving through a greased area?
I think she does, actually.
It is. It's if in or entering.
She succeeds.
Okay.
And she's out, and she attacked you, and she got, I believe, rolled an 11 on the die. And let's see, she's +6 to hit, so it's a 17.
Yep, that's a hit.
You're going to take 9 damage from her
Okay.
shillelagh'd club.
Oh my.
That's so sick. I'm going to use my half-orc feature, Relentless Endurance, to not fall unconscious, but to drop to 1 instead.
Hell yeah. Okay. So she smacks you over the head with her shillelagh, and you just, something inside of you awakens, and you're just kind of shaking with rage rather than unconscious, but you feel the edges of your vision are blurring. You're starting to feel like you have tunnel vision, like you might pass out, but you push it away for the time being. Now the sprites are going to go. Sprite 1's going to take a shot at you, Viv. That is that's a 13 to hit.
AC's 14.
All right, you are able to dodge it. They're like little darts almost.
Yeah.
They seem like they wouldn't do any damage, but from the
Which
sound
ones are
of
the
your
sprites on this map?
they are marked with color. I do not know if that's helpful for you, but they're right up here on the top of the ridge.
Oh, I see them. I just didn't zoom out in the map.
Oh,
Now I
they
see
weren't
them.
just the dots. They're little sprites. There
are little
camouflage.
like tokens there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to recognize the dot.
How close can you zoom in there, Zach, for Twitch
Oh yeah, I think I can get a little bit more here.
there?
Oh yeah, there we go. That's a little better.
Righteous. The second sprite is going to go. It's going to shoot it. I guess it's going to shoot at you, Viv, because she's in front of Tassels.
Sure.
Natural 1. You hear the bow break. You hear like a little twing, and the bow breaks, and you hear the sprite curse in a language. And you feel the vitriol, but you don't understand the language it's speaking. That brings us to Viv's turn.
Okay. I'd like to 5-foot disengage, and then I will produce flame and fling it at her.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay. So it'll be +7 today, since a
baby.
Healthy breakfast. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Big
23,
time.
big time.
Go ahead and roll some damage on that
yes.
flame, my
D8
guy.
fire. 3 fire damage.
She catches on fire. Her skin is made out of bark, and she catches a flame. And as she's burning, she starts to say, "No, these baby spells can't hurt me. No." And she burns up in front of you guys. You watch her burn.
She dies.
Yeah.
I'd like to spit on her and say very quietly, "Only you can prevent forest fires."
Yes, dude.
Tassels, you're up. You got the sprites up there on the ridge.
I don't have to attack this guy.
You hear him say, "Huh?" Like he's like snapping out of some kind of spell.
Okay. This is interesting. This is interesting.
Do you have any range?
No, I'm going to spend my turn kicking the ash into the grease and I say, to be radical is to grasp things by the root.
That's good. That helps us in this battle.
One of the sprites says, "What does that mean, man? I don't get it."
I'm gonna fucking eat you.
We're gonna shoot you to death. The farmer stands up and says, "Oh, what happened, man?"
Do to your wife, human.
Giorgio, help us kill these sprites. It's the least you can do for sweet Carlton and your slumbering wife.
Oh, my wife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He runs over to his wife.
It was a
and,
limerick from the druid.
Clyde, you're up.
Okay, now here's a question for
It's
you.
a literary evening.
Would I be able to? Would I know anything about sprites with like a nature check, or would I need like an Arcana check to see what I might know about
An Arcana
sprites?
check probably would be.
Okay. In that case, screw it. We're gonna shoot it with an arrow.
What did you want to know? I guess is the question that I have.
I guess I wanted to see if there's a way to bribe or broker a deal with these sprites to leave us alone. But I don't know if they're in for that sort of thing. I don't know if they're this like fairy creature that loves deals.
They are fairies. I'll give you that one for free, and I think you would know that in the world that we're in.
Well, so I guess I'm just trying to decide, like, would Clyde know this? Because my understanding is Tom of fairies that they love a good deal, and I was just hoping to kind of like, But you know what? I don't think Clyde's about that.
You could give me a history check if you want. It could be a free action. Wouldn't need to take from your turn.
Okay, let's just see what we know. And that's got to be intelligence, right, for history?
Yes.
It's gonna be a 15.
Yeah, you know the history of fairies to a degree. Clyde knows what Tom knows.
Clyde is Tom.
Clyde knows that these are fairies. We're really just breaking down the barriers here. You know that these guys, they do like to make deals.
Mm-hmm,
But you also know they're tricky.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily evil creatures, but they're kind of tricky.
I could easily get in over my head, though. You know what? I don't think Clyde's actually going to mess with that. I was going to consider a different route, but I think the Clyde way at this moment is to just, unleash this fury within this arrow. I'm going to try to shoot one of them and deal damage.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That's going to be a 15 to hit.
That hits exactly. Which one are you aiming at? The left one or the right one?
I think this one would be more in my sight.
That is the one who hits you, so that would be good.
Screw that guy.
Vengeance.
All right, roll some damage.
That's going to be a 6 damage.
You shoot that guy, and the arrow just pins his tiny frame to the tree, and he is very dead.
Wow.
Zink. Just quite dead. Quite dead. That brings us to the second sprite's turn. And he's going to take a shot at you, Clyde. And he's going to say, "I thought we put you to sleep. You killed my brother."
This is true.
A 17 to hit.
17 will hit me.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Let's go. That's going to be a 10.
That's what you needed. You're good. You pass. You take 1 damage as he hits you with like a pin-like little arrow from his tiny short bow. He says, "Why didn't you fall asleep? It worked last time."
I'm rested now. I no longer require rest.
Viv,
Yeah.
you're up.
Let's if it ain't broke. What's my range? Sorry, I can make 30 feet on the produce flame, so I got to move a little closer, actually. So 5, 10, 15, just around the grease. 20, just carefully going around the grease. There we go. Okay, I'd like to hurl a flame ball at that boy.
Please do.
Let's get it on. Math is 21.
Oh, that's super hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
5.
immediately you turn him to ash. He just they're just dead, completely gone. And you guys have defeated this weird fairy group, little trio.
I'd like to get right over in Giorgio's grill.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hello. Who are you?
I'm Vivian. Pick it up, dude. Your pet's over there, and he's pretty ticked off. We talked for a while.
Oh, geez, Carlton. I feel so bad. We were driving, and then I heard this beautiful song, and then the next thing I remember, I was on the ground, and you guys were shouting at me.
Well,
really confusing stuff.
It is
frankly.
confusing, but you should feel bad because he was starving and thirsty out there for a while. What kind of owner does that?
It's not your fault, son. There was some powerful, evil wood witch magic afoot here this evening.
I was fine.
And
She
damn
didn't touch me.
witch.
You know?
Greasy witch. Oh God, I'm just so glad that the three of you guys came along. We probably would have just spent the rest of our lives out here.
We almost didn't. Neither of these guys wanted to come rescue you.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I'm still out in the forest. Do I hear this conversation happening?
You can roll a perception check. See.
Okay, that's going to be a 19.
Yeah, you hear it.
Hey,
Hey, dude, that's just not the way the whole thing played out when you consider all the factors.
All
that
right.
were
Well,
on the table.
anyways,
I mean,
I think the takeaway here is they had nothing to lose but their chains, but they obviously chose a different path.
what you're saying
I'm
just
grateful you came along. Me and my wife are on the way down to our farm. Look, can I offer you some kind of small reward? I don't have much, but I'd be happy to pay you guys for the trouble.
What you can do for me, Vivian French of French's Fauna, is you can make me a promise, a man's promise, as you shake my hand, that Carlton will live the happiest life after this.
Oh, I like to think that I was giving him a pretty happy life, but I'll step it up a little bit.
Today was the worst day of his life.
I think it was the worst day of my life too, friend. To be perfectly
to be fair.
But you're safe now, and I need a promise from you. Okay.
He holds out his hand and says, "Yes, I can make that promise."
Giorgio, you're starting to earn my trust back. I know we've only known each other for 5 to 7 minutes, but you're getting there.
All right. Well, we should get back. We got a long way to go.
On the way back, I would like to roll either a nature or survival check. I want to look for a nice looking stick or staff-sized stick.
You actually don't have to look that hard. The creature that you defeated, it was a dryad. She dropped a shillelagh club, like this magic club.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it staff sized?
It's about like you're a gnome, so it's basically the size of your body.
Is it okay?
It goes kind of from the ground to the top of your head.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I can give you the stats on that.
Cool.
Was there any fairy dust?
I would like to clarify though, James. I think that's really cool. I am actually looking for something that I could do. I could like craft. I'm looking for like a human sized staff.
Well, I'm going to take the
if
club.
Someone
then.
can make more use of this club. Yeah, I don't think Clyde would be looking for that.
All right. I mean, this forest is riddled with stuff. You can take a 20. No one's pressuring you. You take the time. You find a nice, beautiful stick, just the size you want, so that you can start working on it with a little craft.
Nice.
Little love turn into what you want it to be.
As a forest boy,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to take a look at that shillelagh.
Excuse me.
The shillelagh's on the ground in between Vivian and Tassles.
I put my foot on it.
I put my hand on it.
You looking to get greased, boy?
I thought you already shot your wad.
Oh, Okay. Well, let me just I could very easily I need a little bit more time to find a Marx quote that fits that, but I would like to roll an arcana on this shillelagh.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check there.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a 24.
It's like a +1 magic weapon. It's a club. Basically, it adds 1 to your attack and damage rolls. And it's a D8 bludgeoning damage on hit. So it's 1D8 plus 1 plus your strength would be the damage you deal with it. It's also got a reach of 5 feet. So you can hit somebody with it from 5 feet away. If that makes sense.
Well, listen. I don't know if you want to cast some dice for this club, but Daddy's got to hit things with clubs. You know what I'm saying? It's in my nature.
Yeah. Well, I killed her though, right?
I think we
To
should.
the victor go the spoils.
I think we
What
should
did Marx
let
say about that?
Sherman, the sugar glider, walks down Clyde's shoulder onto his hand. He's nibbling on the sassafras that he used to refresh our boy Clyde. He's watching this growing tension with great interest.
Hey, Sherman, I know that you are wise beyond your size. And I am curious, how would you mediate a situation like this? Because for me, growing up with old Ebenezer, I never had disputes like as such. How would you handle this, Sherman?
All right, I want you to do me a favor, Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
Is Vivian high or low?
Vivian's always high.
Yeah.
All right. So Vivian, so above 50% on the percentiles. Yeah. All right. Sherman jumps using his one good patagem to catch some air and float onto Vivian.
So he's spiraling, kind of.
Yeah, like a
nerd
football.
Yeah.
With just like only one fin.
Yeah. And he lands on your arm, climbs up, Vivian, and just gives you a tiny slap on your face.
Hey, buddy.
And he then jumps onto the stick and looks up at you, Vivian.
You think I should have this?
Hence the slap.
What a dumb squirrel.
Listen, we just started this adventure together. I don't want to fight.
I know that both you weirdos are out here talking to all your rats and your little sniffly little creatures. All right.
Listen, how about this? Why don't we split it?
There's an awful lot of whispering going around, behind my head,
I could teach you
below my feet.
a lot about loving something other than yourself.
Ever since I met you guys, I just smell like rodent.
I'd like to step in here.
Yeah.
Now, Tassles, I hear where you're coming from. And Viv, I've known you and I see where you're coming from. And I know that this is a coveted little magical item right here. Here's what I propose. I think that this should go to Viv, but only because I consulted with the wisdom that is Sherman. And he apparently thinks this belongs to Viv. This is beyond me now. Tassels, I'm going to make this right by you personally. I'm going to take upon myself to scour these lands for an artifact, for a gift that is worthy of you and your kind nature that I know resides within you. Would you accept that as a token, as my favor?
God, you guys are dramatic.
Who got the boss stick? Was it you? Tassles, did you get the boss stick? Are you fucking trying to take every single item?
Yeah, he got the boss stick.
I just
I
wanted to
don't
be-
remember the boss stick.
Yeah, did you write it down, bud?
Dude, you have a stick with a fucking deer skull
Oh yeah,
on the top of it.
yeah, but you
that
also
you got from the goblin.
Yeah, but you also told me that if I used it, it would break.
If you critically fail on an attack with it, it will break.
Listen, this is just the way I see it from
I-
where I'm standing here.
I take the other stick off my back and kind of push it into the ground with a little bit of arrogance and frustration. And I open my book and start walking out of the forest.
As he's walking away, I will cast Healing Word on him as my second first level spell of the day.
Oh,
I don't
Roll-
understand much, but like it seems like a pretty capitalist play to hoard all the wealth to one particular corner.
it
you
has
know?
to all come to the Kremlin so it can be redistributed.
Oh, it's like a trickle. It's like a top down, trickle down economics.
Listen, Clyde, we just gotta crack that rough, hard exterior that he
Tassels,
has.
I promise you, you have my word, brother, that I will find a gift. I will find something that is worthy of you and the good man that I know you are. Is that
I
enough for
rattle
you?
the skull stick at him a little bit.
All right, so you guys get back to the main road.
I've healed him for
Uh,
7, by the way.
You
Thank
see that
you.
the cart is no longer there. Carlton has taken his friends away on the back of the carriage. Leaving behind the strange scene in the woods, you make it back out. About an hour later, onto open fields. The smell of fertilizer hits you, as though magically kept from inside the Everwood. Farmland and pastures paint the horizon as you continue on your travels. You may camp or keep on, though once again, you hear the horn blast of the caravan settling into camp for the evening somewhere in the woods behind you. So these petty squabbles behind you, what would you like? What would you like to do now?
Can I once again, I'm asking, to get the stats of the shillelagh so I can write this down?
Yep, it's a +1 club. +1 to hit, +1 to damage. Deals a D8, and you use your strength.
Did you say so? It's nighttime. They're settling down for the night. And
Yeah, the sun has gone down. It is early evening. You hear the sound of crickets on the.
I think that Clyde would like to settle down for the night after a fight like this. And there are a few things he'd like to do. He'd like to begin his spice training with Sherman. And he would like to kind of begin shaping and eventually like polishing what will be hopefully a beautiful staff.
And I'd like to edge a little bit closer, sitting close to Tassels. Try to read his book over his shoulder a little bit.
Do you guys know about, and I guess I'm asking this to chat too, about the Newfoundland tradition of the ugly stick? Which is you just basically take a mop, kind of at Christmas time usually, and you take a mop and you dress it up. You put a boot on the bottom, and you put nails in it and put bottle caps and stuff all over it, and it's this big kind of shaking percussion instrument.
I love that.
Never heard
I've
of it.
never heard of that.
This is kind of what I'm picturing for
The boss.
the
boss.
goblet, the boss stick. And I'm kind of slowly adding little trinkets to it and nails into it and rustly things like that.
You can actually add a couple of the dart arrows from those sprites to it if you'd like.
Sick.
Yeah.
Love that.
As a peace offering for getting the shillelagh, I'd like to offer up one of my mess kit spoons, or it's a spork actually, to him to add on there. How about this? You can have this if you want it.
That looks like it might just fit.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me about this book you're reading? You know?
You want to know about this book?
I could know about a book.
Well, it's like this. See, the foundation of irreligious criticism is man makes religion, religion does not make man. Religion is indeed the self-consciousness and self-esteem of man who has either not yet won through to himself or has already lost himself again. But man is no abstract being squatting outside the world. Man is the world of man.
As this
State,
rant is
society.
passing, Clyde, you and Sherman are you gonna want to continue your spice training, correct?
Hmm? So here's what I'd like to do. Because it's nighttime, I don't want to venture into the forest. What I'd like to do is take the sassafras that we found. I'd like to take 2 other spices that I would have on my person. And I'd like to hide them kind of in the nearby vicinity. And I'd like to see if he can find and bring me the sassafras.
He's gonna roll a perception check.
Cool.
He brings back the sassafras.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow, Sherman,
Wow.
I just knew you could do it, and I'm really proud of you. We're going to kind of drill this sort of exercise just a little bit each night, but I promise it's going to be fun, and there are going to be a lot of little treats for you whenever you get it right. And I
He,
give him a little treat from my bag.
Oh, he gladly gobbles that up.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys finish your rest. A little bit of talk about the books. You're learning a little bit about Tassels' philosophy.
The good book.
The good book. You guys get a good night's rest. You guys get 8 hours. The rolling hills of the countryside, containing the odd farmhouse or small village, are the setting for the end of your journey. The last day is peaceful, and you approach the mark on the map where the settlement would be. A rather large hill is in front of you, about 100 yards, and you notice trails of smoke rising from behind it. What do you do?
Those look like normal pillars of smoke, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they look like they're from a fire.
Talking?
They look
Okay.
like they're from like a fire that's been doused.
Has anyone settled in this settlement yet? I ask my friends.
So this is our location we're trying to get to. This is the
se-
prime spot
yeah.
for starting the new village.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm
right.
asking you, Clyde, did they say that there was going to be anyone here before we got here?
Tom doesn't remember.
I'm
Does
pretty sure
Clyde
this
know?
was just
You guys
supposed to
were
be
meeting.
empty.
You guys were supposed to meet, like a contingency from the village of Prudence.
Oh, the other village.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So they've probably set up camp up there.
But you guys can go ahead and roll me an insight check there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All 3 of you.
Oh, yeah. Look at that, my friend.
Oh.
That's a dirty 20 from
Uh-oh.
T-Bird.
Oh, that's going to be 6.
So Clyde and Vivian, you have a
5.
feeling that that's Prudence, right? I mean, it makes sense. But Tassels, you are astutely aware of both the fact that you guys traveled here very quickly and the fact that Prudence is actually farther from the point than Belnora was.
Mhm.
And you have a feeling
Let's slow
that
the
it
roll
wouldn't
here.
be, it might not be Prudence at all.
Considering we left before our, caravan and we're ahead of our caravan,
Yeah.
they would have had to have left a long time before us to be here. And I think we should approach with caution.
Let's sneak up that hill and try to take a peek over.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Cool.
Everybody roll me some stealth checks.
Or
Mine's
can we send Sherman up there? Take a look
You could, yeah.
with Clyde's permission.
Sherman, would you be willing to investigate up over yonder hill and report back to me what you find? It could potentially be dangerous. You know, as your father figure, that it terrifies me to no end, the idea of you stepping into danger. Are you willing to do this?
He nods a little bit.
Okay, Sherman, be safe. Call me if you need me. If you need me, Sherman, you call me and I will come pick you up from the party. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and roll a stealth check for Sherman in the chat, but he's going to roll with advantage because he's just a little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. He's got a really high stealth roll. It's like a 22.
Yeah.
So you watch as Sherman soundlessly climbs to the top of the hill. You see he kind of pokes his head around, just like darting his little head back and forth. He looks back at you back at the scene, and then runs back to you and climbs up onto your arm.
What was down there, Sherman?
So Sherman, I guess he can speak with you, right? Because you can speak with animals.
I can
You
speak with small animals. Yep.
But you can hear what they're saying.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Sherman says, it's kind of crazy down there.
What
It's
sort of
wild.
crazy we're talking? Like we're all having Sierra Mist and eating popcorn, or like
I'm not very good at counting, but I'd say there's a lot of men down there. They got black armor with like red stuff on the back of it. They don't look like townsfolk.
What's your rat there? Your squirrel saying?
Well,
No disrespect.
no, it's okay. I mean, it seems like Sherman saw that there was some sort of small militia. Was that right, Sherman? Was it a few people, or was it more than 10? Would you say?
Would you call it a malicious militia?
There are a lot of bad dudes.
So he says, and I quote, "There are a lot of bad dudes down there, and they're wearing all sorts of black armor with some sort of red on the back. I don't know if this means like a cape or..."
Well, and I slap Clyde's shoulder, and I say, "Well, I know a couple of bad dudes myself."
Are you referring to me? Is that like a sign of affection coming from you, Tassles? I watch my voice after maybe speaking a little too loud, thinking this is a sign of kinship.
Shoot.
We are some bad dudes, aren't we?
We're some
got
bad
in
dudes.
there and
That's
we were-
right. I saw how you took down those sprites.
Oh man, and you're right. We were working in tandem like friends might.
It's almost like that. It's almost like that. I think you should run up that hill. Let's do this.
Wait. We should probably sneak, right?
After you.
Okay.
All right, Clyde, roll me a stealth check there, guy.
Yeah. And it's at a disadvantage because I'm wearing a scale mail.
You can actually roll just straight up and down.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
The 22.
Everybody else roll with advantage.
It's a 16.
That's going to be
Oh. I only rolled once, I guess.
a 15.
Yeah, it is a 16.
Okay. You guys all climb to the top of this very large hill, and you see at the bottom of it, in this kind of small opening, you see around 15 to 20 men in black leather armor with red half circles on the back. The half circle being on the bottom, kind of like a little
A
boat.
bowl.
Yeah, bowl, boat, whatever you want
Like
it
a
to be.
smiley face, but one of the like.
Yeah, but no, there's no eyes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So you guys see this, and they're all getting horses ready. They're kind of just all kind of getting ready to move somewhere.
Can we tell? Are they humans?
Some of them are. It's a mixed bag. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, everybody.
Yeah.
16.
With a 16, you'll be the only one to hear it there, Vivian. You see a Goliath standing over 7 feet tall with a massive warhammer strapped to his back. He comes over, he beckons over a nearby half orc, and you hear him say, "All right, Jensen, we're heading out. I'll leave 4 men with you to take care of anyone who might wander through, and we'll take care of the Belnora caravan quicker than the Prudence lot. We'll be back." And you hear the half orc grunts back, "Yes, sir." And you watch as this guy, this giant Goliath, gets on top of this insanely large war horse and him and 13 gentlemen just ride off over the hill to your right, and they just ride off down the
Towards
street
Bill
towards
Nora.
the
They're-
caravan.
Yeah,
where your friends are.
I'll whisper it over. That crew's going to attack our caravan. They're leaving
Holy
5
sh-
people here.
They're on horseback.
You do actually see that the 5 guys who are left behind, who are all sitting around a small fire, they all also have horses,
Okay.
Okay.
and they're just hanging out.
Here's the size of it by my eyes. There's no way we're going to beat these fellers back to our guys without those horses.
But we
Yeah.
can take care of their reinforcements now.
Do
And-
we take care of those 4, or do we try to just straight up take their horses and sprint to help the Belnor guys? Is this an attack? Are we going to challenge them to a fight, or just steal
I think we
their
can-
whip?
If
I think we can drop in, close these guys down, get on the horses, and flank the team that'll be fighting
we could trick them too if we want to just be quick. The leader's name is Jensen, the one who's left behind.
Well, yeah, I mean, then we'll just have to deal with these 4 guys later.
Listen, I think we need to act decisively here. I think it's either kill them or try to steal their horses. And I think there are too many variables that could lead to the stealing of horses gone wrong.
Let's kill
I
'em.
think we got to get in there
Yeah.
and lay them to rest.
Let me listen, Clyde. You're a crack shot. And
You're a crackpot.
and
What'd you call me?
and Tassles, you've got some scary magical skills. Can we set up a trap here? Can we lure them into it if I go down there and call for Jensen? What's that grease looking like these days?
Yeah, let's grease up this hill and get them to come over here, and then you shoot them when they're fucking lying around flailing in the grease.
Okay, so we're going to lure them up over the hill.
Yeah.
They're going to slip and slide down the hill on the grease that you've laid on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And while they're all prone on the ground,
you're gonna shoot them.
okay,
And I'm going to light
that's
them
my
on
kind
fire.
of plan.
Yeah.
So should I go down and try to get him to chase me with my short stubby legs?
Can you just kind of stand over the hill and like give them a Tuscan Raider situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Are we all greased up?
Oh well, yeah. I'm gonna cast. I was gonna see what you did first.
Okay, so I'm gonna get on top of the hill and yell at the top of my lungs, just shaking my hands.
Now the other guys are long gone, right?
The other guys
alive.
are gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
waited for them to go.
Okay,
As-
basically,
as-
as they run towards the hill, I want to kind of cast it under their feet. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. We'll see if they notice me. Jensen. That's as loud as
That's-
I go.
You walk to the top of the hill. What are the other 2 of you guys doing?
I'm literally gonna try to like lay low, kind of off to the side.
because you want to get that sneak attack in. You know.
when they run over the hill. Like I'm basically just gonna kneel down and hunker down in the grass. When they run over the hill and slip on that grease,
Mhm.
I'm taking a shot. But I'm gonna wait until they come over the hill to do so. I'm basically
Okay.
gonna ready in action. I'm gonna ready in attack.
Give me a stealth check there.
With disadvantage, as is the way of my current armor.
Yes.
Damn. We'll call it an 8 then.
All right. So you plop into place, shaking up your scale mail, making a racket. Let's see.
In theory, I'm not moving too much though, right? Like I'm just trying to kind of, I'm not moving into their space, sneaking around.
No, and you're behind the hill, so your DC wasn't high to hit
Mhm.
it, but you also didn't reach the DC. So,
Yeah. Okay. Great.
so as you step on top and you hold the shillelagh up into the air, and you shout hey, look over here, a feeble shout, an airless shout. You do hear Jensen say, "What the hell is that?" And that's where we'll end it. for tonight.